Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Khrystyna and here on the channel we talk about life in Ukraine, life in my hometown of Kiev, the latest news and many other interesting things. In this video we will go to see modern residential complexes in Kiev, what they look like, and I will say right away that this is a middle class of new buildings. This is not some kind of luxury real estate. By the way, there was also a video about the old town on the channel. I will leave a link to it in the description to this video. This video is a walkthrough format for you to feel the vibe of the city, but of course I decided to combine the walk with something else pleasant, so I took my sister with me. We are already joking that soon she will be on the channel more than me. By the way, you have already met my sister if you have watched the previous videos on the channel. If you haven't, so my sister name is Lisa, it's my younger sister, we have a difference of 8 years, and in Ukraine there is a culture of family, cult of family, so in general we communicate with my sister quite closely. So, today we are going to see residential complexes on the left bank of Kyiv. The first residential complex is called 7. It's quite modern and new, it's several years old. I must say that unfortunately in Kyiv complexes rarely have free common areas like gyms, swimming pools and others. They may be in the complex, but they are paid for like other gyms in the city. There are many playgrounds here, different sports things, soccer, football field, and so on. In general, this complex and many modern buildings in Kyiv have 30 floors, so you can wait a very long time for a lift or elevator. Usually in such buildings there are 2 or 3 elevators per entrance, one of which is a large, but still the load on the lifts is high. Again, the number of apartments on the floors usually from 4 to 8. On average there are 6 apartments per floor. Also, the playgrounds here are really interesting, modern, but not enough. Now, for example, it's 10 a.m. on a weekday and you can already see the number of people, and on a weekend there are a lot of people here. Actually, sometimes people who come or move to Kyiv from smaller cities often say that it's like a stone jungle. However, we don't even notice this because we have been living in new buildings of this type since childhood. Of course, they used to be not so tall and not so modern. This is a photo how the entrances to these houses look like, and there are guards on the ground floors. This is the norm for new buildings in Kiev. Older houses usually have either a combination lock or an intercom. The biggest problem for such apartment complexes and for the entire city of Kiev in general is parking. They are always not enough. We always build our government always built few parking spaces because it's not profitable, and because of this in Kiev constant problem with parking in most popular places or places where a lot of people live. For example, in such houses, for example, we came to this complex and not a single free place wasn't, but we know the secret places where you can leave the car for a while. From this complex to the subway, 5 minutes walk, and it's right near the bridge that connects the left and right banks of Kiev, but now this bridge can only use special vehicles and military with passes. In general, I have already told you that the domestic currency has fallen a lot since the war began, and in relation to the dollar has become very bad. Since most Ukrainians get their salaries in hryvnia, it's very difficult to buy an apartment in Kiev now. Mortgages are in fact almost non-existent in Ukraine, and if there is any, it's more like a loan and interest. For example, now in this complex you can buy an apartment without repair from $70,000, with the repair from 120. These are small apartments, but also apartments of 150 square meters with good repair. Their price can be $250,000, which is an affordable amount for most people. For example, on average in Kyiv now a good salary, not high, and the usual is about $1,000. If we talk about simple professions, which in Ukraine is very underpaid, such as a cashier, sales assistant, plumbers. The salary can be $500. That's how many years to work that would collect on an apartment worth even $150,000. And with the loan, overpayment can be 2 times. Our personal spending, let me tell you honestly, has dropped a lot since the start of the war. By the way, in the meantime, we were right at another residential complex, but I'll finish the story. I will make a separate video about our expenses and our income, but in general, half of our personal savings we gave to charity, aid, military, and so on in the first 6 months of the war. Besides, a rocket landed in my office. I thought about it in a separate video. I will leave a link to it as well, and in the new job, the salaries in my professional dropped 2 times in some period. I worked before the war as a head of call center or sales department, and combined with the second position of deputy operation director in an educational company that employed more than 90 people. My husband's salary also dropped. In general, the first 6 months we were living on saving, as no one understood what was happening. Mostly people didn't work and didn't earn, of course. We are the same. In addition, we had a loved one who died. This is also an expense, and we support our family financial in the same way. In the meantime, it was in the period when there was no money to make. I started doing everything I could. I created 2 YouTube channels, my academy on the themes of numerology and astrology, because it's my hobby. Then when company started to go back to work in autumn, I consulted the sales departments, and yes, all this during periods of shelling and blackouts on a regular basis in the fall. There are a lot of videos about it on the channel. Now we have a blackout, thanks God no, but they say that the same thing will happen again in the fall. We still hope for the best, but in any case, everyone already has generators and so on. But that's not what the video is about. We are already working in the third complex. The second and third complexes are 3 minutes from the subway and also near the exit to the bridge. There are just as many apartments, the same for children's playgrounds, but the third complex has fewer floors. Basically, each complex have some grocery stores and large stores, supermarkets, are up to 5 minutes away or even on foot. I think you can see how things are going with parking, even through this complex has an underground parking lot. The second complex is called the Richny, and the third, in which we are now, called Slavutich. By the way, I want to thank you for the support of this video with like and comment, and if you want to support me, my channel and my family, and you have the opportunity to do so, you can do it at the links in the first comment of the video, for example by buying me a cup of coffee. Thank you for your support. Also, I will be grateful if you write what topics about Kiev, about Ukraine you are interested in now. From the nearest videos, we will talk about our expenses and income per month, and also about medicine in Ukraine. This is the entrance to the subway, and we are about to go into a supermarket near this complex, or rather even in it. By the way, these were open complexes. There are also many closed complexes in Kiev. In general, in Ukraine, a lot of people like fancies very much. Even in the suburbs where the private houses all have fancies, and they're mostly so reliable. Even these small supermarkets already have self-service cash desks and have the option of changing the language to English. So there is no problem with that if you come to Ukraine. Also in the complexes there are always a lot of small cafes, salons, sometimes medical clinics. Often the first floors are used as offices, so there can be any business. In the meantime, we are on our way to shoot the next video for you. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and see ya in the next video on the channel.